Hey, it's Steve Barcelo, Cryptozoology Paranormal Museum. Out for a quick hike at Medoc Mountain State Park. Got some of the gear on, got some basic stuff, using a proper camera, pro camera. So, didn't bring a tripod, just a monopod. But we're gonna do a little hike, see what we find. We're setting up for a couple of overnighters. I was booking some spots. I'm not going to announce the dates right now, but it's not public, it's more of a private thing. But the spots are going quick. I mean, the campsites are, getting to that time of the year, people are coming out. I mean, everything's booked, and we're booking things weeks out ahead. So be prepared if you're coming to Medoc. Book ahead of time. I mean, look at this. Someone showed us the way out. Very buggy today. I've covered myself with lots of bug spray. So we're just going to do a little hike and see what we see. Maybe we'll hear something. Had a guy call me yesterday. He was telling me about all the activity he was having down along this trail. He was going out in a kayak. Rocks thrown at him. Not camping here, so he was doing daytime. He was leaving before it got dark. So hopefully we see something or hear something while we're out here. All right, I'll flip it around. We'll see what we get. So far, a little bit I'm doing, just hearing some movement in the background. It's quiet as far as bugs, birds, which is good. That's always a good sign. The park's fairly busy. Even where I'm parked, there's 3 other cars, so I'm expecting some other hikers out here. But I'm hearing some noise, probably someone hiking down there. A little bit of breeze. You can see how thick it is. I mean, it's hard to see. And that's going to be the nice thing. Next few months, these leaves will start dropping. The thermal cameras will work so much better. Here you can see a little bit. It's got some kind of noise over there. Maybe it's a bear. A lot of bear activity here lately. Want to give them a wide berth. See a little bit of movement over there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's people or deer. You can see we got some folks coming down the trail here. Just wait for those people to walk off. I'm hearing some noises back over here. I want to see if it's people, deer, bear, or something else. All right, I'm just adjusting the monopod a little bit. I'm hearing movement down there. This is the river comes up and splits. So this is not a bad vantage point. It's kind of a natural place. There's a bench here, which is perfect. So I can kind of be quiet and listen and observe. Of course, now I'm going to wish I brought a tripod, not a monopod. But let's see what we get here. My phone works. Doesn't work anywhere near my place, but works in the middle of nowhere. Let's see what we get over here. All right, I shut the camera off for a minute just to do what I had to do because I don't have a tripod. And I heard movement back over here again. And then over here, something large just landed. I heard something come down through the trees and land over here. Now, I don't want to be speculating too much, but I know something got thrown or something fell out of one of the high trees here. I did not see it. I just heard it go at a pretty good velocity and then thumped here. It sounded fairly heavy. I can't tell if it was a rock or not. I really don't know. But I'm hearing something back here. So I'm going to go down by the water a little bit more. And this is what the guy told me. Sorry, I'm kicking my own monopod. And we had someone having rocks thrown at him yesterday here. Sound like branches being broken. Alright, I'm not sure what I'm getting over there, really not. Keep on adjusting the monopod. Something else this gentleman was talking about when he walked on the trail, it sounded like something was walking along with him. He would stop and it would stop. He said, but it was like a couple of second delay. And then eventually he heard something run off. Something else just hit over here. Okay, I'm back out on one of the regular trails. Ooh, almost stepped in this mud here. Let me see if there's anything here. Dog, sneaker prints, hiking shoes. I wouldn't expect to find a lot on the trail itself. I'm going to go up to the bridge here. See if we can see anything off the bridge. It's a nice vantage point. You can see pretty far down the river. All right, one of the things we did the other day, George and I were out camping. We did a little interview at the campsite, just talking about some of the things that have been happening here. I might be inserting that into this little video here, just so we can use it. He's talking about some of the, some of the highlights of some of the stuff that's happened to him, Johnny, myself. He got this weird vortex thing, which he sent me the photo of. I can insert that to show you guys. All their equipment went haywire. Then we went back to his body cam. He had this weird thing showed up. So just kind of a... I keep on thinking I'm hearing stuff moving around back up in here. I've been scanning with the thermal scope. It's just too thick. I can't see anything. The other day we came out here, and we've had days we got here we see nothing. I mean, quiet, nothing. One day we came out and it was like, must have seen 20 deer, rabbits, skunks. It was just crazy. It's like all of a sudden all the animals were out. And that was the same night we had something across the other side of the river making noise. It was almost like everything got pushed to one side. And later when they went out, they actually had, which they felt were bear. And I heard heavy footsteps. I thought it was bipedal, but it could have been a bear. It was on our side too. It's just, you got to be careful. And where you can see we're not aggressive. We're just, trying to document what we can get. Back over there. I'm hearing something back up in there. All right, Steve and George here at the Cryptozoology Paranormal Museum, just hanging out in the park. We're going to do a little hiking today. We've been coming out quite a bit. George has been out here a lot more than me. We've had a lot of good activity in the recent months.
Yeah, actually we have really good activity.
The other night we're here, we heard a tree go down over by, I guess, campsite
14, I
14,
believe.
yeah. And there was a woman over there camping with her dog, and after we heard movement, actually George heard something, said, "You hear that?" I said, "Yeah." All of a sudden then you hear a crash as tree comes down. All of a sudden she's out with a flashlight looking around, so obviously it freaked her out. As you can hear, it's pretty quiet here. There's probably, well, I didn't go around this way, but I'm guessing like 3 or 4 campers in the whole campsite.
Yeah, it's nice and quiet, very quiet. Perfect.
Tell them about some of the stuff you had come on recently. You've had a lot of great stuff with you and Johnny.
Yeah. Johnny's recorded a few different things out here. Probably about 3 weeks ago, I was meeting Johnny out by the stream, and he found a track over there. He was in his hip waders, went across the creek there, and I was just coming in. He goes, "Hey, I just got here." He said, "You just missed it. There was a tree that just went down on me." And I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, so I'm chatting to him for a little bit. He goes, "I got a print here. I want to get a measurement." Well, as he's doing that, there's something walking away from him on the other side. Now, it's so thick in there, you can't see anything right now. But as it's walking, you could hear breaking tree branches off. And I'm like, "Johnny, you hear that?" He's like, "Yeah, I do. And I'm like, man, it sounds like it's ticked off, because it was like just an aggressive walk as it's cracking through every little branch in the area there. Later that night, we headed out to the same area, and sure enough, we're there for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. We're hearing noise across the creek, and the another tree goes down in that same area. We've been getting trees going down. Now, I understand that trees do go down in the forest. It's just odd that that location is the only location that we're getting all that. Same area where we're getting prints from and other things like that. It's just totally crazy. That's just some of it. I know we had a group out. Steve had a group out, and I joined up with him. He did a short video on that. We were out the last hike of the night. It was probably about 1:30, somewhere in there. We were walking over past the pavilion, and we just got down to the trail, probably about maybe 300 yards down the trail, and all of a sudden it sounds like a standoff between what sounded like possibly a bear. It had a real long howl, growl, and then the other thing that we were hearing was a whoop, whoop, and the group with me is like, what the hell is that? I'm like, I have no idea. I've never heard that before. So this went on for about 5 minutes. I got it recorded. Hopefully we can get it out there and Steve can post it up. I just gave him a copy of that. It was just, went on for 5 minutes. It was crazy. They were scared to death. You know, it was just amazing. I actually think I actually heard a Sasquatch, you know, or Bigfoot, whatever you want to call it. But it was crazy, just totally crazy. We could hear it plain as day. And like I said, I do have it recorded. It was just, it was freaky. I mean, like I said, I've never heard one before. I'd seen one about a year ago. Didn't get a picture of it, unfortunately. But this time I actually think I heard one. And it sounded like we were getting ready to hear what sounded like a fight was going to get ready to start. And of course, they wanted to get the hell out of there as quick as possible. So we walked out and got back to the campsite and was telling Steve about it. But it was just amazing, the information we got that night. You know, it was just great, just really good.
You did the right thing, especially with a group like that. We're bringing kind of amateurs in that are into this but aren't well versed in how to behave when something crazy goes on, like, you know, common sense things: stay in groups, do not run, try not to attract any more attention, you know.
Yeah.
And so you made the right decision getting them out of there.
Yeah.
And they were freaked out by the time they get back to the campsite.
Oh my God, yes, yeah. We came back out. We're at the pavilion. Every one of them had to use the restroom, and they came out and was like, "Oh my God, you know, I was scared to death, but it was so exciting, you know." And I'm like, "Yeah," I said, "You know, I got to let you guys know." I said, "Today we've gotten a lot of good information and data to work with." I'm like, I could go out here maybe 3 or 4 times in a month and not get what we got that day that we were out here. It was just perfect. We got 2 18-inch prints that I took a picture of, and that was kind of interesting too. I was in the back of the group and Steve was up in front of the group, and we were down by the stream where we've been getting a lot of activity at, and I saw what looked like a print down there. So I called one of the girls back that was lagging back, and I said, "Hey, come over here, take a look at this. It looks like a print." She goes, "Yeah, can we get down to take a look at it?" I said, "Sure." So there were 2 of them down there, and as we're walking in, she goes, "I hear something." And this is on like a little island, you might say. It's like something in a large sandbar or something, maybe about 1/4 of an acre big. There's a tree that's starting to shake from side to side. And she's like, "I'm hearing something over there." I said, "Yeah, I hear it and I see it too." And all of a sudden it breaks in half. And she looks at me and she's like, "Okay, I'm done. Let's get out of here." And I'm kind of like laughing, you know, because the way she said it. And she goes, "No, I'm serious. Let's get out of here. I don't want to deal with this." I said, "Okay, if you feel uncomfortable, let's get out of here." So we left, caught back up with Steve and the rest of the group. And Steve's like, "Were you doing tree knocks?" I go, "No." And apparently they were hearing something across the creek too. And we told them what we found, so they all ran back there and took pictures of the prints and whatnot. And then we all regrouped and came back to the camp. But it was
a good night.
It was very good.
They were totally freaked out, especially when you're out in the dark and you say go black and you kill all your headlamps. I mean, you know, you've got the thermal scopes, so some of us had thermal scopes, some had parabolic dishes, so which just amplifies everything. But you know, you're literally standing out there. Besides the people you're with, you don't know what's next.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And then you're hearing movement, and then every little frog noise, and then you're hearing suspicious noises. Then we had one of the gals actually was able to do this baby cry.
Oh my God, that was awesome. that was just
Horrifying.
creepy as hell. It was really creepy.
So we had it doing that kind of, it sounded like a distressed animal or a baby out in the woods. And seeing it, we were getting some activities. Things
Yeah.
was, we were getting some
Yeah,
movement
absolutely.
and stuff. So God knows what that was bringing in.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. That was something. I know you're putting it on some of your videos now, and
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
It's great.
Don't be a baby. Come out and go bigfooting. Wow.
That is good. That is
It's
really
creepy.
good. Yeah. But and then we had something strange, and this is a while back. I think it's back in early April. We were on the other side of the campground, and it was about 2:40 in the morning. And Johnny and I were on a bridge. We were there for about a half hour just waiting it out, and nothing really happening. We walked down. Now I scanned with the thermal prior to walking just in case there's some animal out there or something, and worked fine. Go off the bridge, up a small hill, maybe 10 yards, get ready to scan again, and my thermal's just totally whacked. Totally whacked. So I'm up there throwing a fit, like, I don't know, what's the matter with this thing? And Johnny's like, what's the matter? And I'm like, my thermal just went haywire. He goes, mine did too. I said, really? He said, yeah. I was like, oh boy. So I said, maybe we got something on our body cameras that have infrared on it. So went back. I didn't really look at it real quick. Waited a day or two, and I was viewing it, and sure enough, there's something that looks like we walked through some energy field. Got a picture of it. I'll send it to Steve. Maybe he can post it on the video. But it was crazy. I mean,
it looked like a portal.
It did. It really did. It looked like a portal that we walked through. Knocked all of our electronics out except for the infrared camera, and I mean, we didn't feel any different or anything like that, like an energy charge or anything. But if you watch the video that I have on it, it's only one frame and one frame only, and it's like somebody taking a snapshot picture with a flash bulb, and that's it. And it's just crazy. I'm like, holy cow, what did I just catch? Yeah. It's just, this place is really strange, for sure.
Well, even we're in campsite 18 now. We have 19 and 20 next to us. And back behind, between 19 and 20, I guess it was. Were we in 18 at that time? We might have been.
I think you were 19.
We probably were 19. Yeah, we came down, we saw this Confederate soldier, which we have a thermal image of. And then the time we got this Bigfoot type creature crossing across the bluff is way back behind us here on the trail.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's amazing the stuff we've gotten out of this park.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And every time I seem to go somewhere else, I leave town, someone like, I'm up in Hungry Mother's State Park trying to do something different. And Ebony Bird sees this thing cross from the cemetery behind my house and into the woods, where the same area where, what is it? January the 8th, 2016, I guess it was, when the other woman had that sighting in her backyard.
Oh, right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, it's just a hotbed, the whole area around
Yeah.
here. So that's just how this got started. I ended up coming out here and trying to document everything. So.
Yeah. One other event we had, we decided, Johnny and I had never been over on the Summit Trail, and we wanted to go up the hill one night. And we've never done it at night, only because it's quite a hike from the campsites. So we decided we were going to do it. So as soon as we get across the bridge over there going towards the summit, I'm about maybe 25, 30 yards in front of Johnny, and Johnny's like, George, get back here. I'm like, what's the matter? He's like, listen. And you could hear what sounded like a woman's voice, more like a chanting or something like that, but you couldn't make out what it was saying. And it was just weird. It lasted for about a minute or so, and we didn't get anything more paranormal like as we proceeded to go through. But as we were going up the far side of the summit, where it's a little easier, not straight up, we got about halfway up, and something on the trail we could hear. It couldn't make out what it was. It could have been a small animal or whatever, but then again, another tree goes down, and we couldn't see it because it was up maybe a couple of 100 yards up in front of us, and we were getting really low on our thermals. We were down to 1 bar, which is only good for about 2 hours, and it's about a 2.5 hour hike out of there. So we decided probably best to go ahead and leave, because it didn't sound happy, whatever it was up there. So we decided to come back, but it was interesting. Had a couple tree knocks as we were exiting the woods, almost like letting everybody know we're getting the heck out of the woods. So go ahead and play now. But it was an interesting night. We got to do that again sometime.
Yeah, this place never disappoints. It's just nuts.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Now, we generally bait here. We'll take apples or something like that, and we'll throw them out in the woods if we can days before we get in, or multiple days. And we just baited the other day, so we should still be good for any kind of activity right off the campsite. So going out in the trails is important, going out and looking. Obviously, daytime is the time to go out and look for prints and obvious structures or weird broken trees or anything like that. But night times, we go out with the thermal scopes. And the thermals work in daytime, don't get me wrong. But it's your heightened view on things and your hearing. It's just it's spooky out there. You get out there, It's very Blair Witch-like when you have your headlamp on.
It is.
So, although it's been buggy, I just sprayed myself and they're already attacking me here. So
yeah, they got me as soon as I got out of the car today. Didn't even give me a chance to spray. But yeah, this place, like Steve said, it doesn't disappoint.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be times where you come out here and you're like, oh, I had nothing happen, but you put boots on the ground, you're going to hear or see something here that's very strange. That's for sure.
Yeah, you just got to put your time in, get out as much as you can, and different equipment we use. I mean, even here I'm setting up this camera, which I've used for years. It's one of the cameras I use in the business, and here I'm sitting on, it's giving me errors. I had to take up the battery, put it back in. I've never had a problem with this camera. You come here, electronic glitches, all kinds of stuff. I had to put another memory card in, brand new memory card out of the pack, and it's telling me there's an error of the memory card. I don't know. So I got another camera if I have to. I might have to switch out cameras and set that one up and just see how that one works. But yeah, it's always something here. Yeah, it's Steve. I'm back at the museum. I left the park, got a little bit of activity there, nothing crazy. Ended up running into this family on the way out, a father and son. We've met them before, actually. They've come out with us a little bit in the park. They're camping there. Telling me what their experiences about kayaking and stuff, some of the things they saw. Like I said, I had another gentleman call me yesterday. I had all this activity just the day before, so stuff happened in there. Basically, like I said, I just got back to the museum, so I just wanted to kind of do an end part to the video here. Thank you guys for watching, supporting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff, a lot more camping there. Well, we're just excited to use more equipment, introduce some more stuff out there. We have some new techniques we're going to try. Won't go into it now. We'll do it in video form, and we're still going to do some more information on some of the new scopes we're using and things of that sort. But the place has been crazy active. Just doesn't disappoint. Unfortunately, I can't spend the night tonight. The weekend's going to be packed. They're already having a hard time getting spots for people this weekend. So I'll probably go out there during the week, next week, and grab the campsite for a night or two and do some exploring there. Thanks for watching. Everyone be good to each other. We're coming out of some crazy times. Don't be a baby. Go Bigfooting.